Recording is a lot like sex. Really loud is really good. But sometimes, out of courtesy to your friends, neighbors, Romans, countrymen, landlord, family, and children outside, you have to keep it down a little bit. In that vein, we're going to talk about how to keep it quiet. Welcome to my internet. So this episode we're going to talk about recording silently and some of the gear that you can do that with. I'm using this old M-Audio Mobile Pre-USB. It has two microphone ends, two line ends, one on the front, one on the back. Stereo out, you can drive a pair of monitors with it. It's completely bus powered, gives you a phantom power, headphone on the front. And this thing was made in 2004, so it's real old, and it shows. If you're looking for a box like this, I would not recommend this one. I'd recommend something new from M-Audio or Personas or Focusrite, or the Line 6 or whoever. Lots of people make them. They're all pretty good. This has a bunch of floor noise, which makes sense because it's I guess 12 years old now. That's terrifying. Wow, I'm old. Jesus Christ. But yeah, so that's the box. And then if you don't have monitors, good pair of headphones is real important. Fuck. Son of a bitch. Ow! So if you don't have monitors, a good pair of headphones is important. In my right hand, I've got a pair of Sennheiser HD 280 Pros. These things are great for tracking. They're closed back, they're super isolating, they're good to play drums with too. You can get them for $40 used, which is exactly how much I paid for my second pair. They're a little south of $100 new. They're great headphones. They're not the best for mixing because they do make your ears pretty tired after a while. They're not the most accurate. They sound really good, but there's a lot of extra bass. For mixing and more critical listening and things like that, I have this pair of Beyerdynamic DT880 Pros. They're partial open back, so they feel nice when you put them on. They're nice and comfy. They sound great. They're really balanced. They're not super exciting, but they're really detailed, which is what you need for mixing and stuff. We could talk about that in a later video in greater depth. The only kind of downside with these headphones is one, they bleed a lot, which is part of the design. So it's not it's just application. And the other thing is they need kind of a lot of power to drive, which basically just means you're going to be turning up your volume higher for the same perceived loudness, which not really a big deal unless you're the headphone amp and whatever you're using doesn't have a lot of headroom. So that's something to take into account. So that's headphones. One handy dandy kind of thing to have if you programming your own, doing your own drums, or don't own Easy Drummer like I don't and should rectify. Or you play keyboards, which I can not really do. Something like this might be good. They don't make this one anymore. Akai makes a new one that's basically the same, but it has a little joystick over here, and it looks cooler because it's red and shit. But you've got an octave and a half keyboard, and then 8 pads, so you can play drums, and the whole thing is USB powered. You'll notice in the video later, I was using the keys to play the drums instead of the pads, and that's because I'm stupid and can't figure out how to remap these. So this thing's pretty cool. Thing I know a bit more about. Amplifiers. If you're in a small space and you want to have a real guitar amplifier, a lot of companies make small tube combos Black Star being one of them. This is the HT1, the one without reverb. Unfortunately, I should have sprung the extra 30 or 50 bucks, but I didn't. So we've got, flip this over, on off, a line in so you can listen to stuff, practice with it, headphone / emulated out, which you'll be hearing in a minute, and then this is like their EQ, they call it their infinite shape feature, so it kind of all the way clockwise is sort of like a woody upper mid-rangey Marshall-y sound. All the way counterclockwise is kind of more of like a Fender thing, and points in between. It's not the most powerful control in the world. It's really nice in conjunction with a 3-band EQ, because you really can dial in like the mid-range response. On its own, it's it's tone shaping. It does some stuff, but it's not like crazy. Volume is volume. Gain, there's just more gain. And then the gain knob and the input. Speaker out, which is pretty cool. It sounds pretty nice through a real speaker. The cab's got an 8-inch speaker in it, which is fine for bedrooms and small jams. Doesn't really cut it at band practice, but if you have PA, you can plug the headphone out into the PA and get real loud. So that's pretty cool. So next we're going to look at the individual tracks for the song we're going to hear. I wrote it today, recorded it today for this video. So we're going to look at the drums on this thing, and then I played 2 rhythm guitars. One was kind of a lot higher gain, a little more compressed. The other one was a little cleaner, still crunchy. Identical parts, just different sounds. Panned them in stereo, and then I played my bass through the Black Star, which isn't the best bass amp in the world, but it does get the job done. If you watch my video about the Ampeg Scrambler here, you can tell that the Ampeg is a lot nicer, but it's also designed for bass. And if your budget is shoestringy and you can only have one amp for all of the guitar-esque instruments you own, the Black Star is a pretty solid choice. There are other choices out there. There's like the Micro Terror, and the Fender Champ XD is great. So it's it's not the end all be all, but it's a solid player. So yeah, let's get to the tones real quick, and then I'll shut up and we can watch the video. So the first one is the rhythm guitar. And now the other rhythm guitar. And the bass. And you can hear the bass is kind of, it doesn't have the compression fatness you might normally want. That part of that's because there's no 3-band EQ to dial that in. And it's not a bass amp, but it does a nice mid-rangey thing, so I think it works pretty well. And then last, we will hear the drums. So yeah, let's check out the song. Cool, and thank you, and we'll see you next time.